beautiful people, welcome and welcome back to Car Talks YouTube channel. This is a channel where we give you verified information about cars and everything cars. My name is Wairima Gichuki. I am your host, and today we are going to talk about car maintenance. I know we all think about car maintenance just the way we talk about our bodies. We need to speak about how to maintain our cars. And before that, let's talk about Braille Motors. Braille Motors are located at Garden City Mall on first floor, and their car yard is located on the rooftop of Garden City. So the moment you get to Garden City Mall, you will get all services, and definitely you're going to get the best of the best cars, whether used, whether imported. Yeah, definitely you're going to get the best. So let's get into this video and talk about the car maintenance. When you're talking about car maintenance, these are some of the basic things that you really need to note, and they're very important, especially when it comes to the overall maintenance and also the overall maintenance appearance of the car. So number one, never ever skip scheduled or maintained services. This means that for the maintenance services, it's like the normal checking of the engine, maybe the normal seeing your mechanic, and whenever that they tell you, make sure that you go there and you hear what they say, hear them out, and make sure that you get your car checked as scheduled. And number two, make sure that whenever you get your car, just when you buy your car, read your manual. Make sure that you read the manual of the car so that you can get the important things that you're supposed to use, especially maybe the fluids, the gasoline, whether you're supposed to use diesel, whether you're supposed to use petrol, whether you're supposed to use gas. So these are some of the things that you're supposed to read and know, because if you dare use anything else, definitely you're going to spoil your engine. Number three, you have to make sure that you check your fluids, and these are some of the fluids that you need to make sure that they are checked regularly. And sometimes you don't really even need to go to the mechanic. You really need to know how to check them. I will just give you a highlight of how you can check, and these are some of the fluids that you need to know how to check. Number one is the radiator coolant. And also, if you live in a place where the temperatures really go down, especially in the winter, you need to check antifreeze fluid. And number two, you'll need to check your transmission fluid. Number three, you will need to check your power steering fluid. Number four, you'll need to check your air conditioning coolant. Number four, you also need to check your brake fluid. You also need to check your washer fluid, and last but not least, you'll need to check your motor oil. So these are some of the fluids that you really need to check each and every time. And if you cannot make it, make sure that you pass through your mechanic regularly, and also make sure that these fluids are also changed regularly. That's why we first talked about your maintenance services, because some of these fluids are what they remove and also put new ones. Another thing that you're not supposed to assume is the tire pressure of your car. This is because if your car strains and it doesn't have the right pressure in your tires, that means that you're going to spend more fuel, and your car also definitely will be struggling in all surfaces when you'll be traveling. Also, when you're talking about the tires, make sure that you rotate your tires each and every 5,000 to 8,000 miles. Make sure that you rotate your tires, because the wearing out does not happen evenly for all your tires. So make sure you rotate them, and also when you're rotating, make sure that you do wheel balancing and also wheel alignment. That will make sure that your car is well fuel efficient. The other point is that you should be aware of your warning lights on the dashboard. This is because you may get that you may move out of your house and getting back will be a nightmare just because you have assumed a specific warning light on your dashboard. And remember that every warning light has its own meaning. So make sure that you know your warning lights, and once you know your warning light, the moment you see the warning light, be very keen on it. And if possible, if you really don't know about what it means, talk to your mechanic, and if possible, pull over and make sure that you get a discussion with your mechanic and get to know what the warning light means, and if it can be catastrophic or it is just something that you can check in your engine. Make sure that your car fluids are checked regularly and make sure that they maintain the optimal measurements. Definitely, that's from the second point I told you that you should read your manual, because this is a place where you'll need to get even the right quantities, or even where you need to put the minimum and the maximum amount of fluids in your car. So make sure that if you don't know how to check the fluids, take your car to the mechanic and make sure that you get to know that your fluids are okay. The other point is the serpentine and the timing belts, and these belts are inside your engine, and some of these things you may end up kind of assuming, not being arrogant, but they may fly under the radar. But the truth is, these are very important parts of the car because they control all the moving parts, like some of the parts like the AC condenser, the water pump, the power steering, and also the alternator. And if you end up assuming, you may end up in a very catastrophic moment. If these belts are damaged, your vehicle may end up being in a very bad state, and mainly because these belts assist in very important functions in your engine, and this means that they really need a lot of care. On the other hand, when you're talking about a timing belt, these belts assist in the operation of the camshaft. Basically, if these two belts are damaged, definitely that means that your car may end up in a very, very bad state. So make sure that every other time that you take to your mechanic, to your provider, make sure that you get the best services, and also make sure that your belts are regularly checked. The other thing that you really need to check on inside your hood is also the car battery. Yes, I know lately the batteries that we are using are not like the ones in the past that you needed, I don't know, to add water, due to add acid. For these days, they are a bit better, but if you don't check your battery in a very long time, you may end up corroding your battery. So if in any chance that you get your battery is corroded, these are some of the things that you're supposed to do. Make sure that your car is turned off. Number 2, loosen the negative clamp and also unfasten the cable from the battery. Then do the same to the positive clamp. Also ensure that both positive and negative clamps are fastened without touching each other or any conductive surfaces. Mix 1 tablespoon of baking soda with 1 cup of hot water. Then you may use a cleaning brush using the ingredients and scrub on top of the battery. Remember that we are scrubbing the positive and the negative clamps. Also, after cleaning, rinse with cool water. So remember, we washed with the hot water. Now we are rinsing with the cool water. Once it's dry, make sure that you lubricate using petroleum jelly so that it can, or even if you have something like dielectric grease, so that you don't expose the metal on the battery terminals, and also prepare to put them back together. Then reattach the positive cable to the positive terminal, and then reattach the negative cable to the negative terminal. Another thing that we really forget so many times is checking on the wipers. Wipers are really essential, especially when there is rain, and you have to make sure that your wipers are very okay. Last but not least, be nice to your car. Yes, that is very important. Be nice. Being nice means make sure that your car is always clean. Make sure that your interior is also clean. Make sure that you don't go hitting everything that you meet on the road. So make sure that you are very nice to your car, because your car will give you what you give it. If you give it a rough treatment, it will definitely look like a rough car. But if you give it love, definitely even us will see that your car is loved. Those are some of the basic car maintenance tips. And let me take this opportunity to thank you so much for watching this video till this point. May God bless you. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly please hit that subscribe button, because if you haven't subscribed, definitely you're doing great disservice to this channel. Please make sure that you subscribe so that we can even reach out to so many people out there who really need to know how to take care of their cars. And please, if you need us to talk about something that you really feel that it is very important to your car, make sure that you give us your ideas in the comment section, and we will really appreciate. We are ready to talk to you. Also, make sure that you follow us on all our social media platforms on Wairima Gichuki on a personal level, that is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure that you look for Wairima Gichuki. Also on Instagram, make sure that you follow us at Car Talks, and make sure that you follow us so that you can see each and everything that we are talking there about your cars. Let me take this opportunity to thank our director, Gichuki for taking this time and also bringing you this information on time and the best way possible. And thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.